Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS news for Wednesday, February 2. Government is moving to increase the number of licensed private electrical inspectors available to members of the public, with the Government Electrical Regulator, GER, now being fully operationalized. The new body became operational on November 1, 2021, and replaces the Government Electrical Inspectorate. The GER is now mandated to regulate the sector and is no longer responsible for electrical inspections. During yesterday's sitting of Parliament, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz said the drive to increase the number of inspectors would create increased competition while reducing the cost for electrical services.
One of the benefits of the new system is the ongoing examinations for electricians. Examinations are held quarterly, with the most recent one being held on January 19th and 2022, which was done both in written and practical formats.
Minister Vaz says the move has already seen an increase in electrical inspectors from 16 to 61. He says 35,000 inspections are expected to be carried out annually. The Energy Minister also revealed that 117 applications for inspectors have been approved, with 55 inspectors scheduled to receive their public liability insurance and another 21 applications recommended for approval. The government continues to strengthen and modernize legislation to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. On Friday, members of the Senate approved the Terrorism Prevention Designated Reporting Entity Trust and Corporate Services Providers Order 2022. It aims to strengthen the country's financial and non-financial systems, making them more robust and transparent. Leader of Government Business Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says it also signals Jamaica's compliance with international obligations and practices. She explains that the problem of money laundering and terrorist financing cuts across borders as criminals exploit loopholes in domestic systems.
So strengthening our frameworks to protect and prevent these activities therefore plays the dual process or dual purpose of protecting us nationally and ensuring that we play our part in the global fight against these scourges.
Money laundering is essentially the process of hiding the illegal origins of funds, while terrorist financing is the gathering or provision of funds for terrorist purposes. Residents of Pembroke Hall now have access to a new Restorative Justice Centre, the 8th such standalone facility on the island. The centre, which was opened yesterday, is designed to deal with matters related to child diversion, restorative justice, and dispute resolution, among other issues. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says these restorative justice centres will help to reduce the number of cases that go before the courts.
So the courts cannot respond in a timely manner because they have so many cases coming there. And you will understand it is a cycle, a circle. People can't get things done, so they don't go to the court. When they go to the court, they wait forever. And that is why the need for alternative dispute resolution is so urgent.
Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Northwestern and Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark describes the Justice Restorative Centres as an economically feasible way of solving disputes.
From my experience as a Member of Parliament, this is an absolutely necessary function. Too often we see disputes that lead to violence, and disputes that lead to violence that causes death, homicides, and murders, arising from disputes within families, disputes within communities, disputes between neighboring communities.
There are now 18 justice centres island-wide, of which 8 offer only restorative justice services. Greenwich Farm is expected to benefit from the next Restorative Justice Centre in March. Research and development to ensure a resilient and sustainable sector is among the strategic priorities of the new Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. Minister Pernell Charles Jr. made the disclosure at a recent JIS think tank.
When you look on the strategies to boost production and productivity, and when you put it in context of the limited space that we have in terms of our land, but the natural assets that we have in our country, enhancing research will allow for us to improve productivity, to reduce waste, to optimize how we operate.
One of the key initiatives being pursued is the redevelopment of research stations projects, which involves rehabilitation and upgrading of the Bodles Research Centre into a centre of excellence. The first phase of the initiative, valued at $800 million, began in 2018 and will run until 2023. Up to December 2021, a sum of $766.4 million has been spent under the project. 125 primary health care facilities across the island are earmarked for improvement under the first phase of government's primary health care model for renewal and rebuilding. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says reviews have already started on some infrastructure and buildings under the IDB-funded program. 10 healthcare centers are to be overhauled or newly built.
We have about 325, so we'll take it in phases. But it's going to be a significant shift. Now, the planning started before COVID, but COVID has hastened those plans. COVID has made those plans more relevant.
Dr. Tufton was speaking recently at the handover and official opening of the St. Anne's Bay Health Centre, which was renovated to make it climate resilient.
Features around resilience are going to be emphasized, whether it is the provision of water or it is other features that will ensure that it withstands the risks that we are all exposed to in these environments.
Under the new primary healthcare model, Minister Tufton says training will be undertaken and more doctors and nurses added to provide preventative and curative healthcare services. This is expected to prevent overcrowding at hospitals. And finally, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation will be embarking on an initiative dubbed Project Shelter. Project Shelter is an acronym for savings, housing, employment, land titling, training, economic recovery, and repairs to homes. Newly appointed Minister without portfolio in the ministry, Robert Montague, says the project will cover housing, land, and urban renewal. Special national projects such as the Vernon Field Economic Zone and the JISCO Industrial Economic Zone have also been incorporated into the program. To bolster Project Shelter, Minister Montague says greater focus will be placed on certifying skilled workers, particularly for the construction industry. He asserts that there's growing concern of insufficient numbers of skilled employees in the sector, which has implications for the state's housing, infrastructure growth, and urban renewal agenda.
Training is of particular interest to this government and is a part of our thrust to ensure that our young persons are not only trained but certified, and the emphasis will be on the construction skills, masonry, carpentry, plumbing, electrical installation.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.